A former Mountain View council member is sharing his side of the story as he stands trial for shooting a teenager. Let's begin with a live look outside over Horsetooth Reservoir. Hope your Saturday morning is off to a great start, and it is a beautiful start to the weekend out there. Good morning. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Evan Krugel. Let's get a check of your forecast with Weather Impact Team meteorologist Jaden Knowles. Jaden, we are ending the month of May with some lovely weather to get outside.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, especially early to start this morning. We're talking about blue skies, lots of sunshine. It's a little bit different, though, as we head towards the eastern plains, specifically talking about the northeastern portions of the state. It's a little foggy this morning there, as well as mostly cloudy conditions. But so far, I mean, these temperatures, the upper 50s, low 60s as you're starting your morning off right. Noticing statewide, it's already pretty warm down towards the southeast portions of the state. Lamar, you're at 69 degrees there, 40s and 50s across the high country, and overall just a great start to your Saturday morning. Here's what we are tracking as we head into this afternoon, talking about that level 1 risk, including parts of Fort Morgan up towards Sterling, even in level 2 risk. We could see the potential for some large hail, maybe even some damaging winds, but for us across the metro area, I really don't have a whole lot of severe weather in my forecast, so that's the good news there, because I know there's so many events going on this afternoon. Live radar, really not much going on. We did see a couple of stray showers up towards the high country, but for the most part, we're nice and dry. We're going to continue to stay that way for the rest of your morning hours, but temperature-wise, a very nice and warm day. The upper 70s is what's in my forecast. So if you have one of these in the backyard or just going to a pool today, it's going to be very nice for that. 78 degrees, but we'll talk about the potential of seeing maybe some hit or miss showers across the metro area and that severe weather threat for the northeastern portion of the state later in the show. Evan?
All right, Jaden, thank you. The trial of a former Mountain View councilman continued yesterday. Brent Metz is accused of shooting a 17-year-old in the face. Metz shot the victim while the teen and his friend were on Metz's property looking for a place to take homecoming photos. Yesterday, Metz took the stand. He says he wasn't at home when the two teens first trespassed on his rural Jeffco property in September of 2024. He says his girlfriend alerted him that there were people on the property walking around, and when he showed up, he says he saw the teens parked near the entrance. Metz says he parked next to their vehicle and grabbed his pistol from a holster inside his truck. He says he was transferring it to his hip holster while getting out when he lost his balance and the gun went off, shooting through the windshield of the teen's car and hitting that teen in the face. Metz argues he never pulled the trigger, and his attorneys are trying to claim the firearm is defective and unsafe.
You decided to confront them before law enforcement got there, correct?
Confront is too strong of a word. I anticipated making contact and having the same conversation I've had multiple times with people who have left notes, who've pulled up and wanted to do something on the property. As I was exiting the vehicle and transferring my firearm from my vehicle-mounted holster to my hip holster, as I've done many thousands of times, as I stepped down, the firearm discharged uncommanded.
Metz is charged with 4 felony counts, including second-degree assault, and faces up to 16 years in prison if convicted. Closing arguments are set for Monday morning at 9 a.m. Well, between vetoing Democrats' bills and being censured by the Democratic Party, one might think Governor Jared Polis wouldn't be the most popular among Democrats right now. But seeing who shows up at his bill signings could suggest otherwise. Here's Marshall Zellinger with more.
We disagree on many issues, and sometimes it feels like we're in different parties.
2 years in a row, Democratic State Representative Javier Mabry has had the same bill vetoed by Democratic Governor Jared Polis, a bill allowing voters to unionize with just 1 vote instead of 2. But despite that veto and Polis's censure by the Democratic Party following his clemency for Tina Peters, Mabry says he would still celebrate with Polis.
I would show up to a bill signing if the governor signed truly transformational policy that positively impacted workers and consumers.
Earlier in the week, Polis signed an RTD reform bill in a very public way on a 16th Street Mall bus, meaning Democratic lawmakers who support his censure were very publicly seen standing by him as he signed their bill.
Look, I can say that I think the governor was wrong to grant clemency to Tina Peters at the same time that I'm proud of a legislative accomplishment.
I do think it's important for us to be able to celebrate wins that will positively impact people's lives.
The censure censure has put all of us in a difficult position.
Democratic State Representative Meg Froelich co-sponsored the RTD bill and told me she probably would not have shown up even if she wasn't in California. But she does not fault anyone who did.
I think being next to the governor at a bill signing is not the same as being next to the governor on a bus tour of Colorado, touting accomplishments.
Many Democrats have stood by Polis's side this week. House Speaker Julie McCluskey said she attended bill signings because it's a celebration of policy. State Senator Iman Judah said she serves the people of her district, not the governor. And State Representative Chad Clifford said the censure is about Polis's future with the party. Quote, "We still fully expect him to do his job as governor."
New body camera video shows the moments leading up to a man stabbing an Aurora police officer before being shot and killed. This happened back in April, and we do want to warn you the video may be disturbing. Police say officers tried to de-escalate the situation for nearly half an hour before 23-year-old Amare Garlington came out of his home running with a knife. He charged at a canine and an officer on scene, according to police. They say that's when the suspect stabbed Officer Mark Moore in the head multiple times before Moore ended up shooting him. Officer Moore was released from the hospital at the end of April. A report released this week says Aurora needs to strengthen its mental health response so that fewer people in crisis end up in deadly encounters with police. Well, the Valverde neighborhood in Denver opened a new community garden yesterday at Florence Crittenton High School. The school serves young mothers and their children and has been working on this project for several years. It gives the families access to green space and educational opportunities for gardening in a part of town with not much access to either. The project was initially set to receive federal funding, but when that fell through, some local organizations stepped in to help.
The EPA actually provided a community grant, but with all the political turmoil, they unfortunately canceled that grant, but the Colorado Garden Foundation came in and funded this portion of the project and made it all happen.
It feels great, and it feels also like it's cool. You know, they have tomatoes and like other things that they're planting in here. Vegetables. So it's like really nice to do, and it's calming. So, yeah.
A little messy, but it's pretty calm.
Last year, viewers raised more than $40,000 on Next for FlowCrit to provide services like pediatric care and education to the families that they serve.